In 2016, Apple CEO Tim Cook unveiled Apple's master plan to revolutionize the future of money. Cook stated the next generation of kids will not know what cash is, and discussed new technology to make all financial transactions electronic. But while this development appeared exciting to some, it also fits with what author Jamie King calls the electronic banking conspiracy. In other words, Tim Cook's announcement was a chilling sign that the so-called secret group is about to complete its global plot. Journalist Jenny Lewis says the world is controlled by a collective known only as the secret group. It is not known who belongs to this mysterious group or where they are based, but it is broadly assumed it is made up of power-hungry banking elites and financiers. Purportedly, their ultimate goal is to achieve world domination by seizing and destroying global wealth and personal identities. Former hedge fund analyst Daniel Ivanjiski argues that this is a certain outcome of any society where cash is obsolete. Ivanjiski says that if this happens, America would become little more than a monumental ant farm where the elitist class studies Americans to a much greater extent than ever before and uses this deeply insightful personal information to control everyone. Humanity is only now on the brink of this huge change, but Jenny Lewis says this might be just the latest stage in a sinister process going back centuries. Lewis says the electronic conspiracy has 5 stages. The first stage allegedly began in the Renaissance when metal and coin-based currencies were replaced by paper notes. These tickets were substituted for tangible currency forms such as silver and gold pieces. Money stopped having value in and of itself. This moved people towards a system of virtual money, or virtual exchange. The second stage came with the introduction of debit and credit cards. This type of virtual currency now dominates the developed world. A 2015 poll found 78% of Americans now prefer these forms of payment to cash. As time goes on, even these will become outdated. The third stage sees the world move to payment systems such as PayPal, which only require an online login connected to a user's bank account. Given that PayPal alone transfers over $315 million every day, this exchange system is clearly taking hold right now. In 2016, a report found that almost 50% of wealth in the USA was held by just 1% of the population. This could show that the secret group's plan is fast coming to fruition. The secret group's plan will climax in a terrifying crescendo as they seize control of our identities. Jenny Lewis predicts that all of humanity will be issued with electronic identification. This new ID will contain all our important information, from medical histories to criminal records. But scariest of all, these IDs will make everyone on Earth dependent on a single computer server. Evidence suggests this is taking place without our knowledge. A 2016 study by global security firm Gemalto found that 120 countries now use electronic passports for their citizens.
On the chip is the photo, all the biographical data, but all of that information, which is encrypted, now on the chip.
And over 50 countries have separately issued electronic ID cards. It is also possible that a more extreme version of this plan is secretly underway. In 2015, former local government officer Simon Parkes claimed that he had thwarted the Australian government's plan to covertly inject its citizens with tiny electronic ID chips in a fake national vaccination program. Parkes alleged that this would allow the government to remotely control people and punish them using mind blasts. But it is the fifth and final stage that is the most terrifying. With all information based on one server, humans will be extremely vulnerable to a cyber attack. the secret group will shut down the system. Global disaster will follow, as the server is wiped and the secret group takes control. With no money and therefore no incentive to produce goods, populations will be plunged into poverty and chaos. The secret group will then force people into slavery if they want to survive. But there may be even more damning evidence that this process is already at work. Before the final global blackout, the group will allegedly stage partial blackouts to signal to their members that their strategy is going to plan. In 2003, North America experienced the biggest power cut in its history. The massive electrical failure affected over 50 million people in New York City, Albany, Hartford, Toronto, Ottawa, Detroit, Cleveland, and Ontario. The same year, the United Kingdom experienced its greatest outage in almost 2 decades, with CNN describing the shock power failure as crippling. Were these power cuts a sign that we are close to being enslaved by the secret group? Unfortunately, this conspiracy theory relies on a misunderstanding of history. Paper money has its roots in 7th century China, but the secret group supposedly mobilized during the Renaissance. Therefore, virtual money did not start as part of a plot to take over the world. There is also no motive for this plan. If the secret group is made up of bankers, they have nothing to gain from obliterating the world banking system. It would render their industries powerless, with no guarantee that people would submit to them in their fight to survive. And while this theory is well documented, there are few individuals that believe its predictions for the future. Its most vocal believer, Simon Parkes, is widely discredited, having never supplied any proof for his claims. Indeed, he is best known for his belief that an alien master race visited Earth in 2015 and left 200 evil beings behind when they returned to their planet. The move towards alternative and online payment forms is arguably more suitable to a 24/7 digital world. As Jenny Lewis writes, electronic money does not exist to bring chaos and the end of days. It has been developed in response to e-marketing and e-commerce, and as such is all about money, as so much in the world is. Electronic money may indeed bring us chaos and panic, but it won't be by design. With scant evidence, there is little to suggest the great electronic conspiracy is real, or that there is an undercover plot for world domination. However, the theory does reveal a potential path for humanity's future. As more people willingly shun cash and turn to virtual payments, they may inadvertently be opening the door to a number of disturbing possibilities.